Hey, good afternoon, baseball fans. This is Gorgo 2005, welcoming everybody to the channel today. We have a mild 44 folks in chat right now. We're pleased to have each and every one of you in here today. We're going to be taking a look at my three perfect teams, as is usual for Sunday. And we won't be ripping packs today like we did last Sunday, because we did have a Saturday stream yesterday, which we did not have the Saturday before. That's when we normally do our pack ripping, is on Saturday, and we do an historical simulation on Sunday, and we're back to normal today. So it's going to be the 1976 Reds versus a mystery team to be determined later, and we'll also have a 25,000 perfect point giveaway at the end of the stream, and you will need to be present to enter that particular contest. So let's see what we can get into here. I've got a little bit of my afternoon coffee I need to nurse for a moment, so bear with me a second while I finish this off, please. Oh man, is that good. Good stuff. Okay, bear with me. Thanks for your indulgence on my behalf while I slip aside there for a second. Okay, so I should have, I just picked up a drop. That would be my third one of the day. I got the first two off of the Fluffy Kitty Ninja Show, and I expect to get two more out of myself today. And hope everybody here will be able to get your drops as well over the course of the next couple of hours. That's how long we intend to be around, is until 5 o'clock, and then I'll need to get out to the kitchen and get me some of our usual Sunday supper of pork roast in the crock pot with mushroom gravy. So fun times await, and let's see what we can get into with the teams today. Taking a look first at my main team in Diamond, the Flames. Okay, here we are. And I have a tournament that's been running for a little while, so I do want to take a look at that. That number 21 tournament there has been running for a while, and I want to see if I'm at least through round 2. I'm hoping to be done with round 2, because I've had some really decent tournament pack luck here lately. Hey, we have a brand new follow. G Hill 44, thank you so much for your follow on the channel. We greatly appreciate you being here. Welcome to the channel, and thanks for clicking the follow. We greatly appreciate it. It gets us up to, I'm trying to remember now. No, we're not even through round 2 yet. In fact, we're losing round 2 2-0 so far. Last time I looked, I was pushing 720. Oh yeah, we're up to 721 followers now. So Mr. Hill, you are the 721st to follow on the channel. I still can't get my mind wrapped around that number. When I first started this streaming business back in August of last year, I thought, okay, I'll be lucky to get 100. Then after that, I thought, okay, I'll be lucky to get 200. Each 100 as it rolls by just amazes me all the more, wildly exceeding my expectations, and we're thankful again for each and every person in here. Whether you're just here to get your drops, or whether you're here just to keep the old fart company, whatever your motivation is, we welcome one and all, and we're glad to see everybody here. We are now up to 64 people in here now, so I think I've taken enough of a look at this tournament. I've got 2 minutes and 11 seconds till my next sim comes in, so I'm hoping to see some better results out of the following sims here, because right now I'm losing in round 2. So let's get out of here. Oops, hang on, there's my drop hitting, and I'm not opening packs today, as I said. This right here was my best performing team of the 3 that I possess. And they are in Diamond, perennially trying to find their way up to Perfect League eventually. and also perennially trying to avoid relegation to gold, because we will we'll see here in just a little bit how many consecutive seasons I have in the second highest level of OOTP, perfect team. So I took a loss on the chin here, my very last sim, against guess who? That's Respawn TV, another fellow affiliate streamer, and his Indie Kazoos had the reverse, the exact reverse of my record. I ended up 78 and 84, and Respawn ended up 84 and 78. We both missed the playoffs. I avoided relegation, so did he, obviously. So this particular outfit, we've been picking up packs like nobody's business. I got 42 yesterday, and the day before that I got 43. Now, why is my number so low here? Well, number one, I opened packs yesterday, and of the 42 that I earned yesterday, I opened 15 of them on stream. So that left me with 27. And that's what I started today with, and the 3 that have been added on to that have all been Twitch drops. Like I said, I got 2 of them from Fluffy Kitty Ninja Show and FK and Kamish LB, and the last one I just picked up partly from Kamish and partly from my own stream. And I'll get the other 2 drops to come in automatically here. And in case you did not know it, and I'm pretty sure most of the people here, if not all of you, know that there is a Google Chrome extension that you can install that will automatically claim Twitch drops for you. You don't have to go claim them manually in your inventory, your Twitch inventory. You don't have to do that. It will automatically claim your drops for you. And not only that, but it will also get for you your channel points, your Twitch channel points. Now, there's another type of channel points that I'm able to provide via my Stream Elements affiliation. And Stream Elements channel points are referred to in my parlance as Gorgo points. And it costs you 10 Gorgo points to enter the giveaway at the end of the stream today. And if you stick around here long enough, you may have already earned your 10 that you need. If you ever wanted to see how many points you have in your inventory, exclamation point points will get that for you. Okay? So, rendezvous is up. Okay? All right, that's what's going on with these guys. They've been earning packs. The bronze tournament team has been earning packs like nobody's business lately. Indie Kazoos with Respawn, they knocked me out in this last game of the regular season. We ended up 78 and 84, but still only second place in the division. We were perennially second place all season long, or so it seems. Really kind of a crazy, nutty thing that I could be doing this poorly but still be second in my division. I ended up way out of the running in the wild card. The wild card was all going to be positive record teams, and with me being 6 games underwater, no way was I ever going to make a playoff spot via the wild card route. So that's what we have going on here. Let's take a look at some of our team performances. We have a new follow. The Balking Dead. Hey, that sounds like Mr. Audit. That sounds a lot like Mr. Audit. Am I correct? But thank you for your follow, Balking Dead. We greatly appreciate you being here. I love seeing how some of the folks are putting up alt Twitch accounts so that they can get multiple accounts up and all of them getting drops at the same time. It is really cool, and I'm glad to see it. Okay, the Balking Dead. All right, let's see what the team performance looked like here. Brand new follow. Sam Chap 2001 just subscribed with a tier, with a Prime subscription. Thank you so much, Sam. Sam Chap with the Prime subscription, and you know what that means. I'm not gonna do my first ad break right away. We're going to give Mr. Sam Chap 2001 a greeting just for him.
You're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep you down. You're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep you down. You're the best.
So thank you, Sam Chap 2001, for your Prime subscription. Greatly, greatly appreciated. And the channel appreciates all of the support that you so kindly provide. So it's time now for our very, very first ad break. So be ready. Hang on, folks, before we get in to take an in-depth look at my Diamond Flames. We are going to hear from our sponsors. So hang on, folks. Here we go. Okay, gang, we are back from our ad break, and I am going in now to take a look. I don't want to look at my lineup so much. I wanted to look at my pitching first to see how they fared over the course of this season. And it appears that between Jerry Royce and Bullet Joe Rogan, they were the two best pitchers on the staff, with the possible exception of a late addition that I brought up from the bullpen. I brought Mort Cooper up from the bullpen, and he turned out to be perhaps the de facto ace of the rotation. 5-2 with a 2.19 ERA. Port Dog, wow! Thank you so much for your subscription too, and it's another Prime Gaming subscription. So, Port Dog, here's this one's for you too.
You're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep you down. You're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep you down. You're the best.
So thanks to Port Dog. We're up to 2 subscriptions on the day already. Man, I can feel the love right here. Right here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And the Peanut Gallery says, so yes, thank you one and all for your support of the channel. We appreciate it greatly. Let's think about what our pitchers have been doing here. My Mort Cooper may have earned himself a spot in my rotation, and possibly is my new number 1 starting tomorrow morning. I don't have to worry about playoffs, so I won't be doing anything with the 5-man versus 4-man rotation, so I can keep everything right where it is. I think Phil Niekro now, he kind of stunk up the joint. I might want to think about him, considering some of his splittiness. I may want to look at him in the bullpen. And as I take a look at things here, Kevin Brown may have just earned his way back into the rotation. So why don't we move Phil Niekro out of the rotation? Let's put Kevin Brown back in there. Okay? Because he got himself way down to a 1.08 ERA. Despite his 1-3 record, he did pretty nicely towards the end of the season. So anyway, let me look at my ERAs. The ERAs are looking good on my 3 nasty boys here at the end of my bullpen. I have my highest ERA first, even though this is all going to get reset tomorrow. I'll be adjusting as the week goes along. My highest ERA is the one that gets called on first, and the second highest ERA is the one that gets called upon second, and the lowest ERA is the one that we count on to finish ball games. So we have them set up right now based on the end of this season, their results. But I think I'm going to keep them there and then make an adjustment starting next season as we move along. And I like the idea here that with our wins against replacement, Papelbon is a minus 0.2, and we have a couple of minus 0.1s. One of them is Tex Houston, and the other was Mr. Necro. So I'm hoping that Mr. Necro, once I move him, I got to account for the sim though first, so excuse the interruption, please. And we are going to take a look and see what Mr. Necro is going to be doing better for us. Okay, I'm going to my pitching staff. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to stick him in middle relief. And I'm not going to say anything other than normal usage for now. Okay? Even though now Gullickson ended up with a higher ERA than he was yesterday when I last looked at him. So he's going to sit there in middle relief. So is Vida Blue, who has a secondary role as a specialist. Tug McGraw, I'm going to take away the specialist tag. I want to save him specifically to be a stopper. Okay? So we are going to have nothing as a secondary role for Tugger McGraw. I meant to do that yesterday, but I just flat out forgot to do it. You know how these old gray cells operate sometimes. I'm pushing 70. I'll have completed 70 trips around the sun my next birthday coming up in May. Okay, so Phil Necro, he is now in middle relief. Okay, now things look a little bit jumbled right now. What I need to do, and it's just as simple as a couple of clicks. I click up here on my lineups tab and then immediately go back to pitching, and everything gets sorted out. Phil Necro, instead of being down here at the very bottom of the screen, is now up here in the middle with middle relief where he belongs. And Vida Blue is in there as the lefty specialist. Then Papelbon I had in there as a backup middle reliever. That's his secondary role, because he seems to do better in middle relief than he does any of the other secondary roles that I could put him in. So he has a backup role, a secondary role of middle relief. And over here on my starting rotation, I think I've got things pretty well under control. Carl Hubble, who is my most recent acquisition as a result of finishing up the Cooperstown Club 1 complete set of missions, I got not only Mr. Necro over here, who was the single mission completion reward, but the overall Cooperstown Club 1 reward was Carl Hubble, and he's only had 4 starts for me, had a 1-2 record, lack of run support, I'm afraid, but because he had a 2.40 ERA, which was fine enough. He for his 3 starts that he had out there, or the 4 starts that he had, he didn't get as many bats backing him up as he deserved, given the pitching performance. So we're hoping to see some better stuff out of Carl Hubble. We're working also to try and get ourselves into some better first base options. I still have a diamond card playing for me at first base, and that's George Sisler. And we'll see how he did here in just a bit. But overall, our pitching performances really weren't that terribly bad. If I look at my home screen here, you'll see that they were right in the middle of the conference pack as far as pitching went. And the bats, by and large, did even better, but some individual pitchers did not get the run support that they deserved, especially Mr. Hubble, I think, didn't get the run support that he deserved, given the veracity here of this particular offensive squad. They did pretty well. Only 12th in home runs, because we're not really that big on power, with the exception of with a few people there, like say your Henry Aaron and that sort of thing. But Henry Aaron had 18 home runs. How did he do in stolen bases? I don't see him here. So let me get back to my lineups here. And okay, I don't want pitching, I want lineups. There's my 4th drop that just hit. Okay, so let's get to the lineups. George Sisler, even though I complained about him being a diamond card in this otherwise all perfect team, still is not acquitting himself very badly here. He ended up batting .290 on the season, tied for the team best with Little Joe Morgan from my Reds. So we're really, really pleased to see that performance out of Mr. Sisler, because I'll tell you, his other left-handed counterpart at first base, one Willie McCovey, didn't do so well. At least he's not sitting on the interstate like he was a little while ago. He ended up batting a team low .233, but so we had kind of a feast and famine sort of thing between the two first basemen on my squad. Even often, not so often used Bullet Joe Rogan, who appeared in 45 games and 40 of them started, I believe. Okay, now where did he play? Where would he have played? Let me see if I can take a look at his card and try to figure this out. He could have been playing just about anywhere. He could have been a backup outfielder, could have been a backup infielder, because he plays all over the frickin' map except for the catcher position. He plays all over the place. So his batting numbers, given that, let me take a look at his batting ratings, okay? His batting ratings are over where? Here we go. His batting ratings aren't half bad at all. With a 92 contact and an 81 BABIP, 75 power, 70 avoid Ks, it's not too shabby at all. So I stuck him in there as an available backup guy in terms of where all he can play. I had him in there as a backup dude. So he did get to appear in 45 games as a non-pitcher, and he pitched the rest of his appearances in there. So it was interesting to see Bullet Joe Rogan get a halfway decent batting average, at least better than Willie McCovey anyway. So let's see, G Hill 44, I've already acknowledged you, and Balking Dead, I've acknowledged you, and our two new subscriptions, Sam Chap 2001 and Port Dog, greatly appreciated on everybody's count. So I need to unmark that stuff from my Twitch chat so that I know that it's not new anymore and it has been acknowledged. So, anywho, the pitching performances weren't so bad, and the batting performances weren't so bad, enough to keep us from getting relegated. And because I'll tell you, when I went into this season and I saw who all was in this league, I was not too confident in surviving this season. Not confident at all. So let's jump out of here, get out of BJR's profile. Everybody else did fairly well here. Hank Aaron, where are you? Hank Aaron is right here. He ended up with 18 home runs and 17 stolen bases, so he did not quite make 2020 on this particular team. Alrighty, let's see who probably did the best here. In terms of home runs, looks like Brooksy with 18 and Aaron had 18 as well. So they tied for the team lead in home runs. RBIs, it looks like Brooksy came out ahead. He had 88 ribbies. Down here I see Minoso with 73 RBI and Hammer and Hank had 71 RBI. Then we had 64 up here. Let me go ahead and sort by that. 64 from George Sisler, 55 from KK, 51 from Little Joe. Okay, so they didn't do too terribly badly. They could have done better, but I cannot complain. We survived Diamond in a rough league. And let's take a look at how rough this league was. And you will probably concur with me that it is a small wonder that I survived with any skin at all on my posterior as I did this particular season. Take a look over here in my NC East. Okay, the Sarducci Pizza Subs, whom I mistakenly thought of as belonging to Andy G over in the UK, who is otherwise known here in Twitch as Luke1111. I mistook this team as being his, and it's not his. The Sarducci's Pizza Subs, they won the division. I was 10 games back Ambrose All-Stars that belong to Rakshada. They were a game behind me. Here, Fabtron, our well-known managerial name there, Fabtron, with his Canada Ice Princesses. They were 2 games behind me, pretty tightly packed in the middle of the division. And the Sandy Tiger Sharks that belong to Who Am I, Sir? They ended up with a 60 and 102 record. They were probably going to be seeing relegation. In fact, I think that was the league worst record. The San Jose Ratata I had identified at the beginning of the season as being dangerous, because take a look at that. They've won Diamond once. That means they've been to Perfect League, and I did check the teams to make sure that that Diamond Championship was actually worth something and not just before Perfect League became a reality. There was quite a number of teams that won Diamond but didn't get to go to Perfect League because there hadn't been enough teams yet, or enough Diamond champions yet, to populate a Perfect League. So that finally happened sometime later. The Grand Prairie Huskies, a gold champion at one point in time, that belonged to CBR 2018. They got a playoff spot. Ball or Nothing Sandlot Squad, I found out that this Ball or Nothing team belongs to Rome in a Day. Rome in a Day Twitch is the Ball or Nothing manager. Okay, the new New York Burns Ballers, run by Subliminal Glory. There's another familiar name. They came in last in their division. There's the Edinburgh Diamond Devils that belong to Nicole G. They won their division. And take a look here. There's C. Wits, Castroville Mashers. They made it into the playoffs. The Newcastle William and Mary Club, they earned a playoff spot. There's Respawn TV and his Indie Kazoos. They missed out on the playoffs. And the Myrtle Beach Mermen, owned by Raw Dog. I don't know if that's any relation to Port Dog. Hard to say. I don't know if Raw Dog and Port Dog might have some familiarity with each other. But anyway, I ended up in 5th place in the All-Star, in the wild card race, and being 6 games under 500, I could not complain about being able to place that high. That puts a premium on how difficult this division truly was. Because if we take a look here, the Edinburgh Diamond Devils, they have won Perfect League before. They are a former Perfect League champion. Okay, so I'm surprised there again that I survived, let alone halfway thrived through this particular conference. But if you think this side looks loaded, wait till you come over here to the AC side. The Las Vegas White Tigers, 3-time Diamond champs, and they've been to Perfect League 3 times. The Bend Trees, they've been to Perfect League 6 times. Okay, Empire State Hive Mind, they've been there once. Fun Society, they've been there once. This was a division of death. The Modesto Nuts, we've heard of them before. So, yeah, this was a division of death. But if you think that was bad enough, take a look here. The Cheeto Cheetahs, another former Perfect League champion, they came in and won their division, so they're in the playoffs. We'll look at the playoff tree here in a bit. The Carolina Tides, who have also been to Perfect League. Roswell Grays, they've won gold. But they missed out, and they're run by Tiva Dave. They missed out on a playoff spot, as did the Carolina Tides. And the Waltham River Otters, here that are run by Hometown Markup, and the Medina Maulers here at the bottom of the division. They tied for the last spot. You could say they tied for 4th, they tied for 5th. They're at the bottom at 73 and 89. So anyway, the AC West, Sacramento let's try that one more time slowly and with feeling. The Sacramento Brewers won their division at 88 and 74. Then 2 games back of them, the Lamarinda Star Crushers, who have won diamonds before also. The Fancher Creek Giants, they are a familiar OOTP name. The Heartland Bunny Rabbits and the Quebec Dragons free to play. So they tied for last in their division. So you can see what a buzzsaw this league was. 2 former Perfect League champions and Diamond champions, former Diamond champions, scattered all over the place. So I haven't won Diamond, at least yet. But I'm hoping to maybe make it sometime this game cycle before Perfect Team 24 becomes a thing. And here's another sim coming in. And after this sim comes in, let's take a look at the playoff tree and see who's doing what in my league's playoffs. Because there is quite the number of luminaries in my league. Okay, so let's look at the playoff tree. I like looking at it this way. Okay, so here over in the wild card race, the former Perfect League champ Ben Trees got relegated to a wild card spot, and they won that 2-0. They swept their wild card series. They made it to the division series and just barely beat the Las Vegas White Tigers 3-2, and they lead the conference series 1-0 over the Lamarinda Star Crushers. Star Crushers started out as another wild card team, and look at this. The 2 teams that are surviving over here are the 2 winning wild card round teams. Is that crazy or what? Cheeto Cheetahs, they're out. Las Vegas White Tigers, they're out. These 2 wild card teams they're rocking it over here in the conference final, and Bend is ahead 1-0. Now over here, Newcastle William and Mary knocked out Seawitt's Castroville Mashers 2-0, swept them in the wild card round. And speaking of sweeps, there's another sweep there. The Grand Prairie Huskies knocked out the San Jose Ratata. That's 2 dangerous teams there. But now here, my division winning Sarducci Pizza Subs, they took out the Grand Prairie Huskies 3-2, and they are now tied with the Edinburgh Diamond Devils 1-1 in their conference final. The Diamond Devils won their division series over William and Mary 3-1. So decent set of teams here. Wild card, even though that's former Perfect League champion. There's another former Perfect League champion, the Edinburgh Diamond Devils, and the Sarducci's Pizza Subs. Mercy sakes, that is one hell of a lineup in this entire group of playoff participants. I mean, I would have been more than proud to have been able to take a playoff spot in amongst this set of Illuminati. Or should I say maybe another term? Maybe not so much the Illuminati, but perhaps the cognoscenti. We could call them rather safely. Lots of great teams in that league, Nimble Nova. You are oh so right. I am not the Finneytown Mutants THF. I do not know who that team belongs to, and I've been trying to find out ever since I discovered their presence in OOTP. Okay, so Port Dog, you're not the same as the Raw Dog. Okay, thank you for the feedback. Okay, so Port Dog is not Raw Dog, and the Finneytown Mutants are not me. I've been trying to find out for the longest time who they are, but I have discovered this much: they use a Finneytown name, and they've been using it longer than I have. Okay. I cannot figure, and I've been asking around all my friends, my baseball-loving friends that I know in Finneytown that live and breathe baseball. Do any of you guys play out of the park baseball? And to a person, I have to say to a person, not to a man, because there are a couple of ladies in there in Finneytown that play baseball simulation games, but they tend to do other ones other than out of the park baseball. So I still don't know who the Finneytown Mutants are. They started in Perfect Team 20. I started in Perfect Team 21. So they are longer at the game than this old fart. They've been at it for one whole game cycle before I ever thought of buying OOTP, let alone doing what I'm doing today with the game. So anyway, I have no idea who the Mutants are. I would love to find out. And there's my final drop, I do believe. I can confirm that in just a bit. I do not know who the Mutants are, but I would love absolutely love to find out who the dickens they are, because this is not the biggest suburb in Cincinnati. Heck, it's not even a real town as far as that goes. Finneytown is not a town. We are a school district that's carved out of a township, out of part of a township. We reside in Springfield Township, which means we are governed by the township trustees. There is no mayor of Finneytown. There is no village council of Finneytown. We have township trustees that are responsible for governing our particular area. And then, of course, we have a school board that runs the school system. But all that Finneytown is, it's what they technically refer to as a census-designated place. So you can say that you are from Finneytown as far as the census goes, but nothing really. It's a geographical thing more than it is a governmental thing. Excuse me, with the exception of the Finneytown school system, which treated my kids just great. They thrived in the Finneytown school system, and the school system did very, very well by them. All 4 of my daughters have master's degrees now. One of them may be working towards a doctorate, depending on her job requirements. And another one is going after her highest professional certification that does not require a doctorate. That latter one is, she is an associate librarian at Miami University, just up the road, and she is going for a full librarianship. She's already on tenure. She has already earned tenure, but she's on a track right now, a career track that would see her through to a full librarianship, and with all the associated pay raises and all those good things. But she's been with them for, I'd say, nigh on to 15 years now. I take that back. Let's try 14 years that she's been a librarian up there. Maybe it has been 15. Yeah, it has been 15, because she got out. She got out of Indiana University with her master's in library science. She got out in December of 2006, and it was early 2007 when she started working at her undergrad alma mater at Miami University. Her older sister also graduated from Miami with her. They only spent 1 year there together. My oldest daughter was a senior when this number 2 daughter, the one that's a librarian at Miami, she was a freshman, so they only got to spend 1 year together up in the Oxford campus. So, anywho, that's what the family story is. But anyway, yep, lots of great teams in that league. As Nimble Nova said, we could not have said it any better. Okay, so let us jump out of here. We've looked about everything we can look at here, but I need to get my crying towel. And no, it's not going to be a crying towel. It's going to be more like a crying sponge. I need something else to absorb all of this old fart's tears at what we're about to see in my other 2 teams. And they didn't do so well. Oh, do I even have a sound for that? I don't really have a sound for that. But I do have something I can substitute for it if I do this. Enough of that. I gave you the baby sound. I was looking for a baby sound in my stored sounds over on the Stream Deck, and I couldn't find a baby crying over there. But I have the baby voice in voice mod, so we're able to bring that out of the woodwork. So let's get out of here and see what goes with team number 2. We only have about a minute left to our next ad break. I need to spam some iron best of 5, so let's get this going. And I've pretty much decided, and we'll talk more about it once I get in here to take a look at these guys. I think my PAX only team days will be over at the end of this game cycle. When I first started it out, it was a fair amount of fun to see what all I could do to build a team out of cards that are drawn from packs. And not only that, but I would take mission rewards that were achieved by cards drawn out of packs. Okay, so no cards got purchased. I am now seeing the end result of the packs only philosophy when you don't draw enough good cards to improve your team. You get relegated like these guys, 69 and 93. I started yesterday's action 2 games above relegation. We'll continue crying after this next ad break. So please stay tuned for a word from my sponsors. Thank you. Okay, gang, we're back. I think I can stop pretend crying now. Oh, but you can see I'm pretty miserable because not just one of my teams, but 2 of my teams got relegated or will be getting relegated overnight, and they will be meeting up in bronze tomorrow. And I've pretty much decided, as I said just before the break, I've pretty much had it with packs only business. Next season, anything goes. Okay, or that is next game cycle, anything goes. And EVC in NYC will probably be glad to hear that I'm thinking really hard about joining up with his theme team community and to see what kind of trouble I can stir up with an all Reds team. He said with an evil chuckle. So anyway, it'll be fun to see what all I'm able to get out of Perfect Team 24, because 23 is already pretty well shot. I don't have enough cards with my Reds to have a really good Reds theme team, because I am going to see this packs only thing all the way throughout the end of this cycle, because I promised myself I would do it, and I'm going to go ahead and do it and stick it out and see if, for whatever reason, if I might be able to get some halfway decent or better cards through my packs in future times between now and Perfect Team 24. Who knows? Who knows? We're liable to see all kinds of goodies in there. But, not at the rate we're going. And we weren't even the worst ones. Well, we tied for being the worst in our division. Okay. How far deep into relegation did we end up? Let's see here. I was at the top of the relegation stack, 3 games away from escape. 3 lousy games away from being outside the drop zone. But alas, there I am, and in bronze I will be come tomorrow morning. So let's look at our pitching staff and look at the sad, sad tale here. Excuse me just a second. Okay, my wife came in looking for something in this man cave of mine, and we'll be able to get it for her later. Okay, now what I was doing was taking a look at my pitching staff. So I had two pitchers that did somewhat decently here. Charles Bender, Chief Bender at 13-11 with a 4.42 ERA, and Pedro ended up with my best, not quite my best ERA. El Cid got the best ERA, but in one of the lousier records at 5-10. And take a look down here. Zach Britton with his lousy as all hell 8.37 ERA. Yeesh. And then 5.25 out of Kurt Schilling in the second setup role. My three nasty boys here, they weren't quite so nasty as they could have been and should have been. That is the 99 Raleigh Fingers, not the 100 Cooperstown Club Raleigh Fingers, because I'm not anywhere near completing that mission. So one of the other reasons I want to go and get away from packs only is because I'm not earning that many packs, because my tournament teams are suffering out loud. I mean, like, they are screaming for help from the card shop, and I don't buy cards. That's one of the painful things about being a packs only team. So not too much fun at all. That's probably the major reason I'm wanting to get the heck out of packs only, is so that I can be doing some more exciting things with my team and trying to get them all as good as they can be by whatever means necessary. And we'll use probably the same tactics as we use with my main team, the Flames, with the exception of the theme team, which is only going to be made up of certain cards. But I'm going to be able to buy those things instead of having to rely on packs to give them to me. I'm going to be able to buy the cards I need for my teams from here on out, because that was one of the most tiring things going on with the packs only outfit, was because I just could not earn a diddly tinker's damn worth of tournaments. Just every now and then, it's one of my favorite sayings, every now and then you'll find that even a blind squirrel is going to find a nut every now and then. And what we basically had on this Wildcats team and on my Juggernauts team, two blind squirrels, and they weren't finding diddly. They were starving for packs, quite literally starving for packs. So I've got another Iron Best of 5 to get into here, but it's not going to do me much good. Okay. Nice jazz trumpet there. Okay. We'll go back in and take a look at my we were looking at my pitching, which didn't look too good. If you think the pitching didn't look too good, wait till you see the batting. But ugly. Guitar, trumpet, doubling each other. That's pretty cool. Okay, come on. Here we go. Alrighty, yeah, there we go. I ended up with 3 of my pitchers on cold streaks in slumps. I even have to play a live 100 in my bullpen. And take a look here. His WAR is not so bad. He's a positive 0.01, positive 0.1 wins above replacement. My only negative WAR belongs to Zach Britton with that 8.37 ERA. Yeesh. Or should I say oof. Big time oof from Zach Britton. But the rest of the pitching performances were positive in terms of wins over replacement, or wins against replacement. So, 0.3 for Mark Pryor, not too bad. Charles Bender at 1.7, but take a look here. Sid Fernandez, El Cid, 4.0. 2.6 out of Sandy Koufax, 2.5 out of Pedro. Yeah, they didn't do too badly. Ugh. But yeah, we had one negative war where you saw in my Flames that actually survived Diamond. They had 2 or 3 pitchers with negative wars. Here we only had one with a negative war, and these guys are getting relegated. But anyway, enough crying about that. Let's look at the lineups and see who did what. Shoeless Joe Jackson was my only 300 hitter, and he had the 758 OPS, but take a look here. This 828 that Hank Aaron pulled in, and here, oh, look at, he came 1 home run shy of making 30-30. He had 29 home runs and 35 stolen bases. 1 silly home run shy of being a 30-30 player. He will make 2020. In fact, I think the team has already been rewarded the achievement for him making 2020. Now, Jimmy Fox with 29 there, but he's slower than sin and only had 1 stolen base. But he had 29 home runs as well. And then down here, Luis Gonzalez with 11 home runs, but only batted on the interstate at 185. Come on. That just stunk out loud. Now this live LeMahieu, I'm sick and tired of having to use live cards to build up a team that doesn't have enough historical cards to make a difference, to make a positive difference. And George Foster at 151, please. Just absolutely sucks city. Just horrible. So we be crying all the way home on the struggle bus with this outfit. You can see pretty much the sad tale. Now we're hoping, almost expecting to do better in bronze once we get there starting tomorrow morning. So we will keep everybody up to speed when we get to the Wednesday stream at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Wednesday of next week is when we'll next meet here and see what we can get out of both my Wildcats here and my number 3 team, the Juggernauts. Because take a look at this. This is the crying shame right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 silver seasons in a row. And if I count these 2 up here, 18 out of the last 21 seasons. 18 of the last 21 seasons were silver seasons. So, after 21 seasons, I'm going back to bronze. Going back to bronze. Ain't that a crapshoot? Or should I say or maybe a show? Okay? I forgot I had my bleep button here because it's enough to make a person go, mother, God. Okay. So let's get out of here. We've seen just about as much as I care to see out of this outfit because we have an historical simulation to get to today. And I'm going to let, just like we did the last time, chat came up with a very, very good suggestion. Somebody in chat suggested the 1996 Yankees to play against my 76 Reds, and those Yankees almost pulled it off. They were leading that World Series 3-1, and then my Reds came back and reverse swept them to become the returning champs in this week's Simulation World Series. So we'll have somebody in chat figure out who our next opponent's going to be. It's going to be the 76 Reds against a team that the first person in chat who suggests a playoff opponent or a World Series opponent for them with a year and a team name, we're going to get you in there. Very first one to suggest it will be there, and I'm watching for those suggestions. Okay, we're going to jump out of here. They would be preferably a World Series winning team, but they don't have to be a World Series winning team. a World Series matchup that you would love to see against my 76 Reds. Because once we're done looking at this team, if you leave it up to me, it's liable to be anybody. No suggestions yet. Okay, maybe we got some people ghost shipping, or they just don't give a hoot. That doesn't matter. We're all cool here. We're all looking good in the neighborhood. Let's see. If you thought that the Wildcats stunk, you haven't seen these guys yet. You haven't seen these guys yet. And this I consider to be my stronger of my two silver teams. They ended the season 64-98. 4 games worse than their other silver brethren, the Wildcats. The Juggernauts created an audible vacuum. You can read that to mean they sucked out loud. 64-98. I think there's only one team in the entire league that was worse than them. And we look down here, and yeah, another team was 3 games worse. Minus 154 run differential. We were dead even on our Pythagorean, so we won as many as they expected us to and lost as many as they expected us to. Ouch. That really stinks. So anyway, yeah, these guys will be in bronze next season along with their now silver brethren, the Wildcats. So I'll have 2 teams in bronze and 1 team in diamond, and that is the fate of the 2 packs only outfits. How did the team look in terms of performance? Pitching staff, we did have one decent performance in there, and that was Chief Bender, who I moved into the rotation late from the bullpen. Had a decent 2.16 ERA and a 7-4 record. Made me wish that I'd kept him in there for a longer period of time, or gotten him into the rotation earlier than I saw him going in. My 3 nasty boys here at the end of the bullpen, they are exactly where I want them to be right now. And I think I've got the other middle relievers looking good, and El Cid, my long reliever, who is also a lefty specialist. Okay, I need to move Britton out of the secondary role as specialist. I want him to be strictly a closer. Now, if I move him back earlier in the bullpen, we might think about putting him in as a secondary specialist, but for now, I'd rather not have it that way. So I've got these 3 pitchers in the correct order that I want them in. I think I'm going to move Bender up to the top of my rotation and leave Leon in there, who has been my de facto ace on my pitching staff. He is going to be in the number 2 slot, and I'll leave Schilling in the number 3 spot. And I think Jose Rijo, with a 5.69 and a 3.6 record, he came in rather late because I drew him. I'm trying to remember whether it was Wednesday this week or the previous Saturday, or previous Sunday, I should say, because he would have been drawn on Sunday. So I forget exactly when he went in, but he appeared in 12 games, had a 3-6 record with a 5.69 ERA. Not too good. Not too good at all, even for a 96 card. The Ryan Express, the highest ERA on the staff, so I'm thinking about moving Nolan Ryan over to the bullpen, and maybe just maybe bringing Red Faber over. So why don't we go ahead and do that right now? I'm going to change Nolan Ryan to a reliever, and we're going to make him middle relief, and we're going to bring Red Faber over to here. He had a 6-11 record. He used to be in the rotation, as a matter of fact. So we're going to set him for being a starting pitcher, and there he is. Yeah, he used to be a reliever. He used to be a starting pitcher, I should say. Now, how do I stand up here? I've got 6 starters. Schilling is a starter. Rijo is a starter. El Cid is not a starter. I need to change El Cid to being a reliever. Once I get past this simulation. Okay, let's go look at the pitching staff again. And we are going to make El Cid a reliever. So that puts him in the correct spot on the pitching staff, okay? So far, so good. My three final people in the bullpen, they're where I want them. I think I've got my starting rotation where I want it, so let's do that and submit the team. Rough looking at that pitching staff, but now my batters, Mule Suttles was my only 300 hitter, and he was my regular backup, or my backup first baseman against righties and against lefties. I think I have him started. No, I've got him second amongst starter or against lefties too. Jimmy Fox, who's way down here, 235, and Mule is up here at 300. Mule still managed to appear in 75 games, 34 of which he started. That means he had a number of pinch hitting performances, 41 of them I would surmise. But 6.3 batting runs, and Jimmy Fox was negative 7.5 batting runs. Look at this, Chicken Wolf minus 30.3, please. Stink O. Now, Hammer and Hank, 18.8 pitching runs. Got about 9 minutes till our next ad break. He had, let's see, how many home runs did he have? 27, and he had 13 stolen bases, so he didn't even make 2020. We didn't have anybody that had passed the teens in stolen bases. If I look at my team homepage, it'll probably tell me that I suck in stolen bases. 10th out of 15 teams in stolen bases. Not to be horribly unexpected given all that stuff. But really lousy in the hitting department and somewhat middle of the pack here in pitching, I would dare say. So we have some improvements to make, and we get to go back to bronze to earn those improvements, and we'll see how they do starting tomorrow morning. Hopefully with a smile on their faces and a chip on their shoulder, along with their Wildcat brethren, they will go out and try to dominate bronze this coming season. And I'm hoping that they do just that. So that's about as much as I care to look at my three teams. Let's get back there and look for an historical simulation. We still don't have any suggestions yet. Come on, chat. Somebody needs to give me a team, or else rely on me to roll a dice or something to try to figure out what I'm going to do. Okay? What is going to be my matchup with the 1976 returning champion Reds? We're going to do a World Series with them. You get to pick a team. You get to pick a year. Okay? First one that gives me a suggestion, that's the one we're going with. And if nobody gives me one, I'm going to come up with one myself. It may not be the prettiest one, but it's going to be something. Okay, going once. Going twice. Okay, you're going to leave it up to me. Let's get back to the main team. We're going to make a choice. Let's get back there and get this taken care of. We got to find somebody to play those 76 Reds. '70s Braves there, Sam Chap. Can you pick a specific year? Pick me a specific year, Sam Chap, and you've got it. If you can give me a specific year, that will be most helpful. 74, so it's going to be the 1974 Atlanta Braves taking on the 1976 Cincinnati Reds. Let's get ready and get into that once I get out of my tournaments. Okay, right, 25, 37. I didn't do worth a damn on that 21. Let's see. did I even make it out of round 2? 21 was my longest running one. 31 I remember running about the same time because I remember that gap of 10. So let's see how that 21 came out, because I don't think I was looking too good in that number 21 tournament. And yeah, I lost it in game 7 to the Macho Madness. They're managed by B Bomber 0471. So GG's to B Bomber 0471, and better luck next time to my Flames. They got kind of knocked out here in round 2. So we're going to keep on spamming as much as we can, but in the meantime, we're going to do a historical exhibition to simulate a World Series. And okay, now the home team is going to be my Reds from the next era after the golden years, but we're doing 1974. 1974 fits in the same period as the 76 Reds. Baseball boom, and we're going to choose 74 for the visiting team, and it's going to be the Atlanta Braves. They were 88 and 74 that season. Oakland won the World Series that year. Is there anything in here that mentions the 74 Braves? I don't see anything in here concerning the Braves in their little blurb here. Milestones and moments. Okay. Hank Aaron got his... Oh, yeah, there we go. Hank Aaron hit his 714th home run to tie Babe Ruth. Yes, yes, yes. I should have remembered that. He would break the record 4 days later. Steve Busby retired 33 consecutive batters over 2 starts. Holy moly, what a performance. Okay. So, yeah, some nice little trivia blurbs there. Then down here in the home team, we're going to have the same era, baseball's boom. Okay, and we're going to select 76, and it's going to be my Redlegs. Alrighty, there we go. We're going to disable injuries, and we're going to use the 1976 era strategy. End of the season rosters, 25 players each, and it's going to be 2, 3, and 2 on the World Series here. So let's get this thing started and ready to roll. Nice try there, Eleanor Frisbee. You came in just a little late. Came in just a little late with that, but I'll try to remember that for next time. 48 Senators. And if you make it in a week from today, Eleanor Frisbee, please remind me of your suggestion. In case, like you know how these gray cells work, it's not always the most reliable. Okay? Not that I'm trying to use it as an excuse, but damn it, I am using it as an excuse. So there. Okay, let's go ahead. We see who the lineups are and who the backups are. Buzz Capra and Carl Morton. Phil Necro, yes. Ron Reed, okay. Some nice, okay, Joe Necro. We got the Negro brothers both pitching on the same staff. Tom House is the closer. Old Davy Johnson at first base, a future manager of theirs, and also of the Reds as far as that goes. Let's see. Frank Tepedino. I haven't seen or heard that name in a month of Sundays. Yikes. Darrell Evans, we know all about him. There's Hammer and Hank. There's Dusty Baker in center field. Roland Office, okay. Ralph Garr. Oh, man, that guy could hit him too. Really, really power hitting. Let's see. No, I take that back. Garr was more of a slap hitter, it looks like. Let me look at his card. Come on, I clicked it. You should be giving... they're not giving it to me. They're not letting me look at his card. So, anyway, so we have the 74 Braves against the 76 Reds, and we are looking to start us a series. So let's get ready and start with game number 1. We will simulate until we get to a point where it will be worth our while to... okay, Sam Koala, W, okay. W for who? We're going to simulate game one. Phil Necro versus Pat Zachary. Look at that. Phil pitched a 20-13 season with a 2.38 ERA. Ooh, doggies. Okay, simulate game one. And the 76 Reds have taken out the Braves by a score of 10-4. Let's look at the box score, because I think, okay, we had 2 3-run innings there. After we spotted Atlanta to a 2-0 lead, we came back and put up single runs in the first 3 innings. And then they came back to tie it up in the top of the 4th. But look at here, bottom of the 5th, we jumped ahead with 3. Then bottom of the 6th, we jumped even further ahead with another 3. Then there is an insurance run. And here is a try to catch up, but in vain run. We will take a look at the game logs, especially for that first inning Braves and 6th and 7th inning Reds. So, I'm sorry, 5th and 6th inning on the Reds. So we are ready to run another ad break. Here is ad break number 3. Let us go ahead and get started. We'll take the break right now. Okay, gang, we should be back now. And I was so pleased. The ad that ran on my alt Twitch account that I have up here showing my stream so I can see how what I do with the stream, how it affects what you see on your end, because I wanted to get a point of view other than myself as a streamer. I wanted to be able to see how it looks to you guys. And I got to see an ad on this alt Twitch account of mine. And what was it for? Ohio University. Let's go. In fact, that's worth a great big, even though it's missing the number 110, that's a big old hi-yo for my alma mater. My beloved alma mater that just had a homecoming yesterday. I did not get to go this year. But I did pick up a homecoming t-shirt to honor the person who started the entire marching genre, the uniform style, everything back in the year 1967. I made it back for the 50th anniversary celebration of what this guy started, but he had since passed on. And this year's homecoming show was going to be a tribute to Gene Thrailkill, who was the guy who started the Marching 110. There was a marching band at Ohio University before 1967. In fact, long before 1967. I think back in the 19-teens was about the first time that OU had a band that performed at football games. But 1967 was when the landscape changed on the marching band map at Ohio University. All new uniforms, all new marching style. It was an incredible shift, and it's been successful to the point that they've now kept it up for 55 years. 55 years that the Marching 110 is still in action, even though the guy whose vision enabled it all in the first place, he left the building last year. He had a very bad fall in his home in Norman, Oklahoma. He retired as the University of Oklahoma Pride of Oklahoma marching band director. He was there for 30 years. He was there from 1970. I take that back. Was it 70? No, he was there from 1971 to 2001, and that's when he retired from the Pride of Oklahoma. And he had a fall in his Norman, Oklahoma home, and never fully recovered from that fall. And it ended up taking his life, and it took him away from us. I did get to meet the man back in 2017 when I went back for the 50th anniversary. He made a special trip up here with his wife and two of his kids, his two surviving kids. He had lost a daughter to cancer. But he came back in 2017 to celebrate with the rest of the alumni band, which numbered, are you ready for this? The alumni band alone was almost 300 people. And the marching band alone, no, I take that back, almost 600 people, okay? The alumni band alone was almost 600 people. And the Ohio University marching band, the current one, was close to 300 on its own. There, by the time you added the two numbers together, there were over 1,000 people on that field at once. It was an incredible, incredible experience, and one I would not trade for anything. So, anywho, I got to see an OU ad that really got me pumped up and got me back in Athens again. So anyway, we're looking at game one of our simulated World Series, and the 76 Reds gave it to the Braves 10-4. We're going to take a look at the game log and see what happened in the Braves' first inning, because they came up with a run of their own in the top of the first. In fact, did they have two? They had two runs. Okay, so here, Dusty Baker hits the ball to the shortstop, and it's an error on Davey Concepcion. Oh no, I take that back. The third baseman, which would have been Pete Rose, the third baseman, committed the error on the ground ball to third base, and that put Dusty Baker, a future Reds manager, on base with a reach on error. Next guy up, Ralph Garr, on the first pitch he sees, knocks a double down. Let's see, that looks like it's to the gap between center field and right field. Okay, Dusty ends up going to third. He doesn't try to score, so we may have men on second and third with nobody out. But Darrell Evans gets up and hits a ground out to the second baseman, who sacrifices a run to get the out, and Garr ends up on third base. So now we have a man on third, one out, one in, and the score is 1-0 Atlanta. Then here, next man up is Henry Aaron. He hits a ground ball to the shortstop, who again sacrifices a run to get the out, and Ralph Garr scored from third base, and nothing else happened the rest of that inning. Okay, bottom of the first, the Reds got a run. Pete Rose got up and hit a double with one out, because the first out was Ken Griffey Sr., who grounded out to third base. Then Pete Rose gets up there and strokes a double into the left field, center field gap. Okay, he hit it in the gap. Exit velocity of 105.6. He slapped that ball. So here, with a 2-1 count, Joe Morgan, Little Joe, gets up there and hits a single on a little bit of a fly ball between third base and second base. I think it might have been in the short outfield, and it didn't really count as an infield hit, but it was a little bit of a bloop single, I would dare call that, because they called it a fly ball, and a fly ball single, that sounds like a blooper to me. So between first base and second base, the exit velocity was only 91.9, but it had enough on it to hit the ground before anybody got to it. So we have men on first and third with one out. Next man up, George Foster, fielder's choice at second. It looks like Little Joe broke up the double play, and it allowed Pete to score from third. So we have a man on first base, George Foster, and he promptly steals second on the first pitch thrown by Phil Necro to Perez. Tony Perez gets up there and ends up grounding out third base to first base. That would be Pete Rose grounding to Doggy Perez at first. Okay, that is that. Top of the second, nothing happened. Bottom of the second, the Reds got another score. And it looks like, okay, Cesar Geronimo, the Chief, got on with the leadoff single. Geronimo stole second. Next man up got a ground ball that moved, got the batter out, but moved Geronimo to third. Next man up, Davey Concepcion, hits him a single and scores Geronimo with the Reds' first run of the day. Or second run, I should say. They scored one in the first inning, and this was the tying run that scored. So it was 2-2 after 2 complete. Nothing happened in the top of the third. Bottom of the third, the Reds took the lead for good. Because here we have a ground out for little Joe Morgan, a base on balls drawn by George Foster. Doggy Perez got up there and hit him a single. I take that back. Oh, here we go. Take a look at this. Foster stole second. There was a throwing error on the catcher, and that was enough to move Foster over to third, and he scored on Tony Perez's single. So that put the Reds ahead for good for the rest of the game. So let's take a look at the bottom of the fifth. I think we had 3 scores here. The Reds had 3 scores. How did they get those 3 scores? We had a walk, leadoff walk to little Joe. Foster gets up there. Joe steals second base. Foster hits a single and drives Morgan over to third. So we have men at first and third with nobody out. A fly out off the bat of Tony Perez. It was not deep enough to get the runner at third home. Little Joe could not move. Cesar Geronimo gets up there. Foster steals second base on a 1-1 pitch. And then Geronimo hits him a single. Morgan scored. Foster goes to third. So we're first and third now with 1 out. Next man up, Johnny Bench. There's another stolen base. Geronimo stole second. Bench gets up there and JB lined a single in between left field and center on a line drive, and that was enough to score Foster. Geronimo went to third. After that, it was a case. Let's see. Joe Necro came in and succeeded his brother in the Braves pitching staff. And Concepcion was coaxed into a ground out, and Pat Zachary, the pitcher, was coaxed into a ground out. So that was the end of that. So there were 3 more runs in the bottom of the 6th. 2-run home run off the bat of little Joe. He drove in Ken Griffey Sr., who made it to first base on a walk. So little Joe knocks in 2 runs, and then we had a double off the bat of Foster, and we got Tony Perez reached on an error and moved Foster over to third, and then here is a fly ball that was deep enough off the bat of Geronimo, deep enough for George Foster to tag up and score on the throw from center field. So that took it up to, 9-3 at the end of 6 complete, and the game was effectively over. So game 1 goes to my 76 Reds. Let's go ahead and finish up today. We'll finish today, and we are ready to simulate game number 2. And this is taking place in Cincinnati in the old Cement Donut Riverfront Stadium. Okay, let me see here. Rose with the error. Yep, sounds realistic there, D. Graybill. Good to see you there, buddy. Always good to see you. Rose with the error. Yeah. Okay. Sam Koala's trying to add some points. Okay. Interesting. I don't know if I have that command active. I kind of think I doubt it. Okay, we're going to simulate game 2. What do we got? What have we got? And the 76 Reds have taken another one. And this one in a much closer fashion, 2-1, to take a 2-0 series lead. Let's look at the box score and see if we can figure out some stuff here. Darrell Evans in the top of the second, hit a solo home run for the one and only run that Atlanta could muster up. And then Tony Perez answered him in the bottom of the second with a solo home run of his own. And in the bottom of the ninth, JB drove in the walk-off winner with a single versus Tom House. That is Tom House, I'm pretty sure. Let me see. Yep, Tom House was the losing pitcher. But that was a fine pitching performance from from all the pitching staff. It's just a shame, he said sarcastically, a shame that the Braves didn't get better from their pitching. They allowed one more run than they wanted to give up, and that was the walk-off run in the bottom of the ninth. And the 76 Reds take that one with a flourish, and rubber arm Pedro Borbon got the win. He was the pitcher of record that pitched the top of the ninth and got them through the inning. But Freddie Norman, a stellar start, 1.29 ERA. There's been a couple of times in the 1976 Reds World Series appearances, a couple of separate times he has been the MVP. Freddie Norman has pitched the daylights out of that baseball in these series that we've seen the 76 Reds play. So after 2 games, we have the 76 Reds up 2-0 over the 74 Braves. We'll finish today, then we'll finish another day because this is a travel day for us to go to Atlanta into the old Fulton County Stadium. Okay? There we are. Today in Atlanta, we're going to simulate this one and see how this one plays out. This is Game 3. Can Atlanta finally get one in their win column? And nope, I'm afraid not. Sadly, for the Braves, it's the 76 Reds giving it to them big time, 7-2. And Gary Nolan was the winning pitcher. Carl Morton. Charlie Morton is a current player. That back then it was Carl Morton. Okay, he took it on the chin. So we had home runs off the bat of Joe Morgan. Joe Morgan had 2 home runs in this ball game, and Dusty Baker had 1, and Mike Lum also had a round tripper. So I'm not going to bother taking a look at this because we can tell already it's a fairly ugly box score. But I think we are ready to start a full play game. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to play this one in case the Reds come back and earn the sweep. Okay? Let's go ahead and play this bad boy. And I'll make doubly sure that we have artificial intelligence set up to be both teams' managers. Okay? All right, so we have AI set up. No DH. Fulton County Stadium. I picked that name right out of the hat. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let's see now if I look at my cameras. I'm going to take a close-in shot from center field for my pitching camera view. My action camera view, I think we're going to make it, let's see. Let's go ahead and keep it there. Let's look at it from the right field, center field wall, just for grins and giggles. Okay. Dynamic action cameras, yes. 3D animation speed, yes. Slow starting pan, okay, we'll leave that be. We'll follow the ball. Depth of field mode, no. Okay, I think that's where we want to leave it for now. So let's go ahead and start the game and see what happens when the Reds come up to bat in what could be a deciding Game 4 in Atlanta Fulton County Stadium. I hear the crowd noise coming in. Okay, and here we are. Ken Griffey Sr., the right fielder, is up at the plate. The Braves are sending righty Ron Reed up to pitch. So it's righty on lefty action here. Vic Carell behind the plate for the Braves. Okay, here we go on the first pitch that he sees. Ken Griffey Sr. is going to do something with it. And what's he going to do? He flew it out. Oh wait, no, it hit grass. It hit grass. And there we are pushed off center again for some reason or other. The simulation did this the last time I did it, and I can't figure out what's causing it. Okay. Okay. Now, who do we have up? We got Peter Edward Rose, graduate of Cincinnati Western Hills High School, batting in the second slot, and Ken Griffey Sr. is at first base. So here we go. No outs, and on the first pitch he sees, Ken Griffey Sr. just stole second base. He has stolen second base on a, now it's a 1-0 count. Okay, on a 1-0 count, Pete Rose sees the next pitch, and the next pitch is still a 1-0 count. And that stolen base was very good with its timing. It allowed Ken Griffey Sr. to make it to third base on the ground out off the bat of Pete Rose. So we have, with one out, Ken Griffey Sr. at third base. A fly ball deep enough can get him home and give the Reds an early 1-0 lead. Okay, so let's see what happens. A man on third, one out, and on the 1-ball pitch, they sacrificed the run to get the out. So the Reds are in the lead, 1-0, and 2 outs now in the top of the first. Okay. Let us move on, and we will see George Foster, he of the Iron Grip. I got to shake the hand of that Iron Grip back in 2019 when the wife and I fulfilled a bucket list item, and we went to spring training out in Goodyear, Arizona, and George Foster appeared at one of the Reds games with a charity booth that he was running with the sales of the items from his booth that were benefiting a pension fund for retired ball players who had retired long before the MLB pension ever became a reality. So he was trying to raise money for old ball players who had no other really appreciable form of income. So it was a way for the present day lovers of the game to give back a little to the players who helped make that day, that particular day in 2019 happen in the first place. So 2 outs now and nobody on. Let's see what happens with George Foster at the plate, and on the first pitch he sees, he hits it down. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? That's what's going on here. That's what's blacking out the screen. That's the stadium that's blacking that out. Because I think I had it in left field. Let me get rid of that outfield view if I'm able to do that. Let me check out my options. Okay, my view. Okay, center field, close camera. Right field, center field, wall camera, dynamic action camera. I think I'm going to go with a third base stands camera. So that way no part of the stadium should really get in the way. All right, let us move on. We are in the first inning still, and Doggy Perez is up at the plate. Tony Perez, the Reds' first baseman, is up, and with a full count, he bangs the ball, but where does it go? It is out of here. Tony Perez. Atanasio Perez Regal from the island nation of Cuba has put the Reds up 3-0. I'm feeling sorry for those 74 Braves. Sorry about that, buddy, but got to feel sorry for them now. They're already down 3-0, and it's only the first inning. This isn't sounding too good for the literally home team. Okay, let's see what goes on here. Cesar Geronimo, the Chief, is up at the plate, and with a 1-ball count, makes contact, and he hits it deep to right field. 4-0 Reds. Woo! They are trying to make this into a literal romp. They're trying to decide this game in the first at-bat of the ball game. Okay, now JB up at the plate. Can he make it 3 for 3? We just had back-to-back home runs. Can we make it back-to-back-to-back? Let's see. With a 1-2 count, grounds it to short, and they throw him out, and we are finally out of the Reds' half of the first inning. But mercy, what a first inning the Reds had. They are up 4-0. They're starting to ice the champagne in the locker room as we speak. Watch out, folks. Okay, so here the Braves are finally getting up to the plate, and their leadoff batter is future Reds manager at this point, Dusty Baker, facing Jack Billingham. Righty on righty action. And now with a 1-ball count, what does Dusty do with the ball? He is going to hit a line drive to the second baseman. Joe Morgan reaches up, makes the grab, and we have 1 out already on just the second pitch of the ball game. So onward we go. Ralph Garr is the next man up, their right fielder, and he is with a 2-2 count. Hit it to little Joe Morgan at second base, and he gets thrown out rather easily. So let's see, that's 5 and 2, 7 pitches to get 2 outs. Okay. Next particular batter is going to be Mr. Darrell Evans. Mr. Darrell Evans. Okay, hang on a second. I'm looking for the counts here. There should be a ball and strike count. Huh. What am I missing? Okay, well, it doesn't matter. Let's go ahead and get Mr. Evans taken care of here. And with a 1-1 count, little blooper, and the right fielder Ken Griffey Sr. comes in and pulls it in, and the Braves are out of the first inning. So after 1 complete, it's the 1976 Reds 4 and the 74 Braves nada. Okay, let's move on. We now have Davey Concepcion up at the plate, and with a full count,
Strike 3.
he looked at strike 3. Whoa, what a pitch. Fooled him completely. Okay, so 1 down in the top of the second, and the next man up is going to be pitching Jack Billingham, our pitcher, and he gets up, and what does he do with a 1-2 count?
Strike 3.
He takes strike 3. The second strikeout in a row for Mr. Harrison. Yikes. Okay, so anyway, let's keep on moving. And we have us Ken Griffey Sr. up at the plate again for the second time in 2 innings. Mostly because of that 4-run first inning that the Reds enjoyed. So let's see what Mr. Griffey Sr. can do for his club. On the first pitch he sees, that got some grass. So he is on first base with a single up the middle to center field. Okay, man on first, 2 outs. Okay, here we have Peter Edward Rose up at the plate. He helped get the scoring started last inning along with Ken Griffey. He was one of the 4 runs that came in, I think. And that is a ground out. That is a ground out. So the Reds are out of the inning. They got nothing to show for it. They did get a man on base, but that's about all they got. So the score after 1.5 is the 1976 Reds 4, the 1974 Braves, zilch. Let's keep on moving. We're about ready to have our next ad break. So I think before we get into more action here, I'm going to go ahead and call my timer off. Let's go ahead and do our ad break now while we're at a good breaking point. And this is the last ad break of the day. Here we go. Hang on. A word from our sponsors. Okay, gang, we have returned. Yep, Eleanor Frisbee, the team is pretty well overmatched. That 76 Reds team was pretty tough to beat. Very tough to beat. So we are going to see. We're going to let the Braves play out this half inning here, and then we're probably going to jump ahead because we only have a little less than 7 minutes to go before I need to do my 25,000 perfect point giveaway. So everybody hang on. If you want a chance to win 25,000 perfect points with the giveaway at the end of the stream, you need to be here for that. So if you can hear my voice, please plan on being here in another 10 minutes because we're going to have that giveaway open and ready for you guys to get into to win 25,000 perfect points courtesy of OTP. I started buying game keys to buy perfect points, but not everybody uses game keys. Some people buy their stuff via Steam, which meant the game was going to go ahead and give them some points anyway. It was much more efficient for the game just to give me the points. I can award them and they can add them directly to your account once I get your account worked out. Okay, so let's get the Atlanta half of the second done, and then we'll do a little jump ahead and see what happens to the score. Hank Aaron, Hammer and Hank, is up for his first appearance of the ball game. What is he going to do with a 2-2 pitch? Ground out to shortstop, and Hank is out. Okay. Next man up is going to be Mike Lum, the first baseman for the 74 Braves. And on a 1-2 pitch, grounds it up the middle a little bit, and oh no, it landed right in front of the plate, and the catcher picked it up and threw out Lum at first. So the ball just, I saw the ball come off the bat, but I didn't see it die in front of the plate. So Bench was able to pick it up and threw Lum out at first, and we are ready to move on to the third Atlanta batter of the inning. Marty Perez, who is their second baseman, is up to the plate. And on a 2-2 pitch, he took strike 3. Oh no, he swung at it. He swung at strike 3 and missed it. So after 2 complete, it's still 4-0, 76 Reds over the 74 Braves. I am going to jump ahead. Okay? We're going to jump ahead to the 8th inning. Okay, here we go. Be ready. And after 7 complete, it's 6-1 Reds. I'm going to jump to the 9th inning. Okay? And it is still 6-1. We are going to do a half inning and then give Atlanta one more shot to make some noise in this ball game, because it's going to be their last gasp, their last chance to salvage anything at all from this series, which is just about ready to go to my 76 Reds. Half inning done. No more runs. So the Reds have out-hit them 11-6. We have outscored them 6-1, even in the error department at 1 apiece. So here we go. Atlanta is up for what could be its final at-bat of the entire series. Let's see what Craig Robinson can do. Their shortstop, what is he going to do now with a 1-2 pitch? Raleigh Eastwick is now pitching for the Reds. And there is a strike 3 call. And Robinson is out. 1 out now in the bottom of the 9th. And the 76 Reds are ready. They can already start tasting the beer. Okay, it is about ready to start flowing like water. Davey Johnson, another future Reds manager. This Braves team is rather noteworthy for having 2 future Reds managers playing for them, Dusty Baker and Davey Johnson. Okay, so he's up at the plate, facing left or right-hand pitcher Raleigh Eastwick, righty on righty action here. So let us see what happens now on a 2-1 pitch. He made contact and it goes into center field on the ground. So a 1-out single off the bat of Davey Johnson to center field. And we have excuse me, a man on first with 1 out. And the Braves are down by 5. They need to make a lot of noise in this inning to get even with my Reds. Okay? So now we have Dusty Baker, back-to-back Reds managers in the future, up at the plate and with a man on first. Davey Johnson's on first with 1 out. What's Dusty going to do on a 1-1 pitch? Uh-oh. Is it? The Reds have won this historical simulated World Series 4-0 in a clean sweep over the 1974 Atlanta Braves. So, in the Braves dugout, what do we hear? We hear some nasty sounds in the Braves dugout. I hear this going on. They're not too happy at all. But in the Reds visitors clubhouse, we hear the champagne getting uncorked, and it's flowing, like I said, just like a water fountain. And everybody is over there celebrating and having a happy time. And of course, the peanut gallery has something good to say about that. So I apologize to all you Braves fans. Okay, that scared the daylights out of me. Oh, you're talking about the broken glass there, Eleanor Frisbee. It is a pretty realistic sound now, ain't it? Yep. So they broke their share of glass in that clubhouse, but they can afford it. It's their team. It's Ted Turner's dollar, not theirs. So anyway, my 76 Reds are still going to be the returning champions in the next historical simulation that we go to do, or exhibition that we go to do 1 week from today. And in the meantime, I'd say it's time for us to get into a giveaway. So let's go ahead and get out of here. and we're going to leave the game, and we're going to finish the day. And there's your series MVP, Little Joe Morgan. Little Joe Morgan with the MVP winning performance in this little series here. So we'll finish the day, and we're going to get out of here, return to the main screen, and from there, I want to see how I'm doing with my tournaments here real quick. And I've got 2 of them spammed up. I need to spam up a 3rd one. That 25's been running for a while. I might, if I'm lucky, get a chance to do that once we get our giveaway done. So I've already got the giveaway set up. I just need to start it. So let's get ourselves to another screen here where we can easily get by with this. And here's the screen that we use for our giveaways. And we are about ready to get one started. Haha, time for a Reds theme team, EVC. Next game cycle, buddy. I'm thinking hard about that one. Okay. To celebrate the Reds, of course. LADD points, okay? Okay. That scared the daylights out of Eleanor Frisbee. Yeah, it was the broken glass that did it. That broken glass is a very, very realistic sound. I mean, I could probably, if I learn how to do it, that's a background sound inside a voice mod. It was one of their sound effects. I think I can maybe change, I might be able to change the volume on that, okay? Hard to wait that long, EVC? Well, guess what? I think we can suck that up and make it. It is loud. It's very loud. Just for grins and giggles, let me run over to voice mod, see if I've got some sort of a volume control on that sound effect. Bear with me here just a second. There's the soundboard. Is there a volume on this? Okay. Come on, soundboard, soundboard. Oh, wait. Okay, here we go. All right. Let's see, my soundboard. Let's see what we got here. Okay, so there's that. Prankster, EDM, voice box backgrounds, voice box union. Well, I'll work on finding the volume on that and fixing it for future consideration so it doesn't really knock people off their seats. Okay, so I apologize in arrears for that one, folks. I didn't realize it was quite that loud until I heard it myself through these earphones, and it's a little bit overpowering. So we'll take care of that before the next time I need to use it, because the only time I use it is in the losing team locker room after one of these exhibitions. So we'll get out of this for now, and we'll get ready to start our giveaway. Now here's how the ground rules of the giveaway works. Okay, you have one of 2 commands that you can use. You can use exclamation point enter, then hit your enter key, exclamation point ticket, and then use your enter key. Do not put a number after the command, even though Stream Elements chat, which I wish to God I could edit, but I can't, they tell you to use a number. Don't follow that advice. You have to go exclamation point ticket and then no number, put that in. Exclamation point enter, no number, put that in. Use one or the other, don't use both. If you use a number inadvertently, it will kick you out. If you use the command more than once, like if say for example you use both commands, it will kick you out. You can only use one command one time, and that's it, with no number after it. Now, at the end of the giveaway, I'll be trying to communicate with the winner via a Twitch whisper, and I'll need to get your OOTP manager name that you want the perfect points sent to. 25K is on the line right now. So let's go ahead and get this baby started, and watch your corner, your upper left-hand corner of this screen. It is going to give you the status as we go along, and it'll tell you how many entries we have. So here we go. Let's start. We'll let it run for a couple of minutes. Okay. It is going. Okay, we have 2 people in there. D. Graybill, Nimble Nova. Only 2 entries. 4 entries now. 5, 6, 7. Legion of Dan. Uber Reese. Okay. Uber Reese is 1-1. Laertes 1. He of Hamlet fame. Always good to see those familiar names in there. 39 Cobra. Vicarious 16. Clawless Kurt. Ryan Schroer. We have 12 entries, and we're almost through our first minute of the giveaway. Okay, we have 122 people in chat and only 12 entries. I'm ready to bet we have some ghost shipping going on right now. The first minute has gone by, and we're still sitting on 12 entries. We can use some more entries. Okay, we have 40 seconds left. There's the 13th entry, Cubs fan 23 Steve. He's a two-time winner of this giveaway, as is Twan LX 2000. That's another two-time winner of the giveaway. Kurzov 22, Castanar. Yeah, very good. Good to see it. 15 entries so far, and we only have now 15 seconds left. And that's more like now 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The giveaway is closed. The giveaway is closed. Okay? 15 entries, including one two-time winner in there. Let's see who our winner is going to be, and we're going to have us a drum roll, and Uber Reese becomes our third second-time winner. Uber Reese. Congratulations to Uber Reese. He has now won from entering the giveaway on this channel. He has won for himself 50,000 perfect points, as has Twan LX 2000, and also as has Cubs fan 23 Steve. So if we get more entries in there, guys, it mixes it up a little bit, okay? Not that I'm trying to knock Uber Reese or any of the other multi-winners, but yeah, we can afford to have some more people in the chat that's entering the thing, because we had over 100 people in chat, but only 15 entries. That means a lot of ghost shipping. At least that's what it tells me, or just people that don't care to get into the entry. So anyway, Uber Reese, I think I already have a Twitch Whisper from you that has the manager name. And have I ever won a giveaway? Yes, I have. I've won several times on DishNet stream. I've won several times on DishNet stream. 10-time loser for Radman. Okay, oh my goodness. Okay. And thank you for your follow on the channel, Castanar. We greatly appreciate it. So, grats to Uber Reese. Uber Reese, do you want your perfect points going to the same account that you had the first time you won? Which I believe was Uber_Reese, just like your Twitch username. If you could give me an answer, please. Okay. Yes, sir. Okay, we're going to make sure that your points go to the same account, and they should be showing up either tonight or tomorrow sometime, depending on how quickly my helper from OOTP gets the message, because I DM him directly in Discord, and as soon as he sees it, he gives the points away. So thanks everybody for coming in and entering the giveaway. What I want to do next, while I'm thinking about it, is we're gonna mark the giveaway as complete, and I get out of here, and I'm gonna go see if I can find somebody that I can raid. So give me a moment here while I go looking around OOTP land for another streamer that is up and running right now. And we have Laptop Hound, another brand new affiliate. He's a brand new affiliate, and he will give you drops. In case you don't have all your drops yet from my stream, we are going to raid Laptop Hound, who was in our chat here just a little bit ago. So give Laptop Hound all the Gorgo love that you can, and I'm going to go ahead and start the raid. Be ready. Here we go. Okay, the raid is beginning, and thanks to everybody for a great experience this afternoon. I had fun. I had a bunch of fun, even though my 2 silver teams aren't going to be in silver anymore. I could cry. Okay, so anyway, we have started the raid, and we are ready to call our quits. It is Gorgo 2005, rounding third and heading for home. Have a great rest of the day, everybody, and make sure that you give Laptop Hound all the Gorgo love that you can, okay? Here we go now. Take care and goodbye.